Welcome back. Yes, 2 minutes past 8. Chief Godwin Waziruke joins us now. He's a delegate at the ongoing national conference. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you.
Well, interestingly, we understand that 20 of those committees have come up with their recommendations. They will be submitting that to the committee, I beg your pardon, to the conference. Give us the perspective. What is the true situation as we speak?
All the committees are supposed to submit the outcome of their work by latest by Sunday night, so that by Monday morning at 10 o'clock, we'll now start the real work, which is the plenary session, where you now look at what has been done in the past 2-3 weeks now.
At the committee level?
At the committee level. Remember, first it's a recommendation at the committee level. Then this recommendation will go to the plenary session. But if there's anything you couldn't get through at the committee level, you have to file a motion to have it considered at the plenary. So from Monday, those who lost out at the committee level, those who want to sustain a certain position, or those who want to say, look, no changes, they have a chance. So there will be fireworks, maintain the status quo. In other words, the way we are is okay, no changes. Or change almost everything except the unity of Nigeria.
Well, it's going to be interesting because some of the recommendations we're seeing with those committees, it really sounds amazing to so many people. For instance, look at this one, where they say we got about, I did see it at the opening sequence, 32 additional requests, no, 32 lists requests for additional states. How did they come to that kind of decision?
Well, what happened was that one of the committees recommended first an additional state for the Southeast to bring them level to 6-6. Apart from Northwest, that has 7. And then they said also any other recommendation to be considered on its merit. Then they moved up a little more to say, yes, all will be at par.
So to make it what, 7-7?
3 from Southeast, 2 from those that have 6-6, 1 from Northwest.
Making it what, 8?
8-8.
So everywhere will have 8-8.
Equality of zones. So based on that, many of the groups seeking for state creation decided now to go and submit their own. Remember, it's not a confab that will create the states. Rather, it's an avenue to air your views on what you want. So when we collect all these things, we're not going to say we are voting for state A, we're voting for state B, we're voting, no. There's a procedure. But any opportunity you have to present your case to the public view, you do that. Remember, even when the confab panel was going on, many people went there saying, want our own state. Like the Bachama people of Bauchi, want our own. But the confab panel had no such powers. All they had to do was to receive and keep, and then hand over to the presidency. So at the plenary session beginning on Monday, we'll be considering the committees one after the other. When we get to that one, we'll pass everything over to the presidency. The president who set us up. President knows what to do with that. He will send it to the National Assembly. The whole aim is this.
Okay.
If we are going to have a brand new constitution, or if we're just going to amend, they can come in and block as part of the new constitution. Just like 1999 constitution listed states, this one will also list states. If it's brand new, it's easier. But if it is amendment, it has to follow a certain thing. First thing you have to do is to amend that section on creation of states to enable you bring in these states, because as the constitution is today, it is extremely difficult to create a state.
We are told that there seems to be some sort of crisis with the Committee on National Security. What's happening there?
No, it's not a crisis. If you have too many people who say either my way or my way, there will be no progress. But if you have people who reason first and then talk carefully and who weigh their words carefully, then there is a way you read decisions. I'll give you an example of my own committee, the one on law, judiciary, and human rights. We have all kinds of people, 2 from Supreme Court, from Court of Appeal, the High Courts. As a matter of fact, 3 former chief judges are there. They were about 4 senior advocates. Ordinarily, Michael Zokume, Femi Falana, they're supposed to be fighting. Because one will be, this one will move, and this one will move. But no, we're all in the same committee, Olisabakoba. It is someone. But the way we all interact, you have your views, I have my views. Then the chairman, Joseph Guntade, or his deputy, Professor Yadudu, will now say, okay, let us have a way of meeting. The way the chairman conducts a meeting is the first thing. If the chairman gives the impression, oh, it is me, I have said it, so it is, it will not work. So the security committee, I think they have a lot of people who are trained in the profession of carrying arms and giving orders. I have said it, so it is. You're a commander, GOC, you're a that kind of thing. So that thing came to rub in on them. I'm used to giving orders, I'm not used to taking orders. Who are you to talk to me? There's even a committee where one prominent delegate from Kano was telling a lady delegate from River State, shut up, who are you, shut up. The woman, of course, replied, shut up too. And the man said, look at me, look at how prominent I am. And got up, and people had to step and say, my friend, take it easy. You're a delegate, she's a delegate.
But we hope that there isn't any further skirmish or misconception about Nigerians from the north and from the south. We hope that is not happening.
It's always there. No, it's always there. Remember, some people, especially from the far north, said the status quo must maintain, no changes. Let me take you back a little. During the plenary, before we broke into committees, when it was my own turn to speak, I emphasized need for change. State creation, one more for the South, is rotation of powers. Local government should no longer be based on sharing formula. There must be proper application of the human rights sections. Freedom of religion, freedom of information, freedom, right of residence, and so on. By the time I listed all those things, of course, devolution of powers, reduce the powers of presidency, give them up to the states. When it was the turn of the deputy chairman of my committee, Professor Yadudu, because I am you, his own is why. He said, we are not here to restructure Nigeria. But he ended up being the deputy chairman of my own committee. At the end of the day, he did very well. Because by the time we got down to committee level, lawyers speaking, or people who have the background of law, except one, we understood each other, and Prof has done very well. So now, some from that place have changed their positions. Yes, there will be changes. I also know some from Middle Belt who have said no changes, which is contrary to the views of many people from the Middle Belt, because there is a lot of killing of the thief people going on, a lot of killings in the plateau. You have some from Southwest, at least I know of two, who as soon as they got there, they broke ranks.
Is there any such thing or such mindset or perspective that all of these killings happening here and there are just nuances being fed by political office holders who consistently want to divide and rule, and the Nigerians don't mind? They don't mind living together, actually.
Let me give you what's happened in our own committee. There is a lady, a professor of law from Benue, a member of my own committee. She brought documented evidence of the killings, including what was suspected to be gas killings. But he took one of the MS, the retired chief judge, to explain to us what was really going on. He said, yes, we are Fulanis, but we are not the ones doing the killings. That we have cattle Fulani people who migrate from place to place, from even as far as Niger, Cameroon. All they're looking for is grazing rights. And as they're coming, they pass through your area. As they pass through, they destroy your things. If you attack them, they will go and get mercenaries. Those mercenaries will come and kill and go. So if you're looking at those Fulanis you see around there as their enemies, that you're wrong. Another member of my own committee, I think a retired judge also, now even went further and said, the way they identify those killers is that when they are moving with their cattle, they don't move with their wives and children. That the real cattle Fulani man moves with his family, because that is his home. So he cannot fight you because his children and wives are at risk. But that those who do the killings come with their AK-47 and their cattle only.
So what was the recommendation on how to deal with those
No,
ones?
no, hold on. That when they come, they deliberately provoke you.
Oh.
So then they'll go and keep their cattle somewhere and come back and fight and go. But then the recommendation from one of the committees is that this is a modern world. You don't move from place to place. You have to have a cattle ranch. If you have a cattle ranch, your cattle stays in one place. And this is when one of them said that they come from as far as Cameroon and Niger.
Into Nigeria.
Yes, that during the dry season, they move down south. When the rains come back, they move back to wherever they came from. So it's a bit complicated from the explanation, and it needs a lot of hard work. And they made it work like these people, the only thing they know, they don't even understand boundary. All they see is food for their cattle. And that are very Fulani man, if you remove the cattle Fulani, if you remove his cattle, he's ready to kill.
So number one is back to those border challenges that we've got.
And the first problem, the border challenges, which is even what is affecting the Boko Haram areas now. They don't understand what is called border. They exist on both sides. And as they exist on both sides, they're ready to kill.
Wow.
You know.
But again, if you look at it, sorry, Nyota, and I'm so excited. You have told us comments from different people. He said, she said, it means we have contributions from a lot of people. It goes back to the committee on security which Chamberlain referred to because, we'll still have to talk about that because the argument or the news is that, the chairman, Alhaji Gambo Jimeta, was accused of running a one-man show.
Yes.
And when you have committees like this with different people as heads of such committees, everyone must be seen to be contributing to that particular issue being discussed. So is there a case of such in other committees, even this same committee we have also had?
No, I think I know of just one or two other committees where once in a while members will flare up, tempers will flare up, and then they will point at each other, yes. For some other committees, the members of the committee are on their guard to make sure that the chairman does not submit a report that does not reflect what they agreed on. Remember, we're asked to go by consensus. Where it is not possible, go by 70%. I can tell you in law and human rights, we went by consensus. We didn't even have to vote on anything, but we agreed painstakingly. For one other committee, which I will not mention, it's like every day is warfare. Every day is warfare. Initially, it was this versus this. Eventually, people started breaking ranks.
No, before we round off, now you use the word warfare. Perhaps this is the time for us to bring this matter quickly. It happened while this session is on. The kidnap of the Chibok girls is 32 days. Did this at any point in time come before the national conference?
Within 24 hours of the Chibok girls being kidnapped, that was during the plenary, we moved a motion condemning the kidnap. And we urged the federal government, please do everything, we said the government, do everything to bring back the girls. 3 days later, all the women delegates wore black. And many of us put on black emblem there. That's how we identified with them. And I know that many of our members are also in the forefront. Dr. Joe Odumake is always ready and she has been leading. So you now notice that feeling. And a member of my committee, who is the MA of Askira, that's Kirama, of course, he has taken time to explain to us some of those things, intricacies. I'll give you one, we'll talk of that big forest. That forest is home to many people. I'll give you an example. You say from air, you see an environment as one thick forest. It's when you go there and you notice many communities. So if you say you want to go and fight and shoot in Ekpe, you're shooting people. So they kidnap girls. I feel so sad because we're in a catch-22 situation. You identify where the girls are. Are you going to start shooting? Once they see you, they use the girls as human shield.
What about before the girls were kidnapped? What happened?
Before the girls were kidnapped, let's put our 2 feet on the ground. It's like any other secondary school here.
Okay.
No matter how much security you have, how many policemen will you put there? 1 or 2? A person is overwhelmed. So let's be realistic. If they had not allowed the girls to sit in one isolated village, there would have been a difference. If they're taking them to Maiduguri, like the white people said, if they had listened to them, those girls will not be there.
Big if then. Well, we have to thank you for coming on. Chief Godwin Waziruke is a delegate at the ongoing national conference, and we expect their committees to submit the reports this Sunday so that by Monday those discussions will begin. We'll be back after this break. Please join us again.